Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody, to episode 326. And today we are going to be covering the system by GM Eduardo, which is Baraw Sugbo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Arnes and International. I believe that's correct, but they will correct me if not. But it just so happens to be that GM is in Finland. And so I made a comment in my discussion, hey, if you guys ever want to cover the system, and the short or long is that they caught wind of it. And so this was kind of a last minute thing, but happy to do it. We're going to cover this. And so Guru Mike, who is the U.S. representative out of Ohio, is going to be late. So he'll probably be jumping in. But in the meantime, we're going to cover it with these guys. And they also have a live demo plan. So stick around. That should be fun as well. So without further ado, I'm going to be bringing these gentlemen up. Hey there, guys. Welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Hey there, Hello. Hi.
So Finland. What's the weather like currently?
Well, it's cold. What do you think, GM?
Really cold.
Oh yeah, from the Philippines. My God, yeah, it must be like a freaking culture shock. Yeah,
it's good weather for swimming at the moment here.
Yes. So when you say cold, though, I mean where's your guys' temperatures?
About 7 degrees, 7 to 10 degrees Celsius at
Which
the moment.
Is bars Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. It's I don't know what. I should know.
Somebody's watching. Maybe they'll answer. I'm just curious because I know you guys are up above, but I just assumed being August, you guys' temperatures would still be relatively mild. But okay.
Yeah, it's dropping now rapidly.
It's starting to drop. I got you. All right. So all right. So do you guys often have GM Eduardo come there, or is this something that's frequent? Or
yeah. So I met GM Ed in 2014, and maybe it was like our second training session, and I said that GM, you need to come to Finland as soon as possible. And he came to Finland in 2015, 17, 18.
This year.
This year. Also, he was supposed to come in 2020, but because of the pandemic, yeah, it didn't.
Wow. That's okay. So obviously, I'm going to get into this too. I mean, as far as the system and all that. So I guess let's just start with that. Basically, what is this? So GM, what is the system overall like? What is the focus, and how did the system come about?
Baraw Sugbo is particularly a knife defense. It's like empty hands versus knife or knife attacker.
Okay, and so is that pretty much the realm? Is there any, like, I guess, knife to knife or anything like that? Is it just pretty much empty hand versus knife?
Yeah, although this art, Baraw Sugbo, came from the same origin with the Balintawak, but I think what is unique here is that only knife versus the empty hand. We
I
have
think it's fascinating. Yeah.
no stick or no espada y daga or knife to knife.
Yeah, that's what attracts me to this. Like, you guys just focus on that, and I think that's so interesting. Whereas generally speaking, all the other FMA systems, have many facets within their system and all that. But so I think that's really neat. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, so this is for you, Timo and Sammy. Like, what attracted you to the system? What made you guys want to pursue it?
Yeah, so I have a semi-long background in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and some of my instructors here in Finland, they did a bit of like FMA drills. They originally came from Manuel Taninko, and with his student called Rodrigo Kong, who also like a long time Daitoryu student. but those things, they didn't like quite match. So there was the Japanese jiu-jitsu wrist locking, and like quite good wrist locking in Daitoryu style of jiu-jitsu. And then in the knife drills that we did, well, there was all the angles and the parrying, but those things didn't fit together. So I started to explore that maybe there's like a system in the Philippines that would include this, and I came around to Baraw Sugbo. Of course, I got like many recommendations here in Finland as well. That some guys knew or had heard that Baraw Sugbo has like a more realistic knife defense orientation, and well, I went to the Philippines for 6 weeks. I had some other options as well, but when I met Eduardo, I thought that I'll skip all the other options and stick with him, and I think that was a great option to do.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the fact what I just mentioned, that I don't know of many FMA systems. I'm not saying they're not out there, but covering the show that just deal empty-hand against knife. So to me, that's very attractive. Sammy, what say you? Same question.
Well, for me, at the time, I was training more Takedowns, which is basically more weapons against weapons system. And my instructor, Mandala Petri Vaittinen, heard that GM Edu is coming to Finland, and he was like very excited about it. And he was like telling me that, Sami, we need to go and like see this man. And so we visited, I think it was the first or second seminar.
Seminar.
Yeah. And I was testing the material that was shown, and it was like different. I find that we were staying a lot inside. We were using both hands against the knife, and there was this like blocking and grabbing aspect to it, which was a bit different what I was used to. And I fell in love with the system already then. I asked for the shirt and like the DVDs and everything I could find about it, and I was like thinking I need to learn more of this. But at that time I was still training for my instruction levels in Takedowns, and I was like really putting effort to get that. And now that the matter is settled with that, I thought, yeah, I need to like pursue, like continue with the Baraw Sugbo thing.
Yeah. Issues are never settled in PTK. I'm just kidding. I can get away with saying that. Maybe not. I don't know.
I remember from Sami at that time. Sami told me that this system is also compact enough to perhaps that it could be studied in one lifetime, I think.
Yeah, this is true. Like I was quite like, because when many systems are wide and they have like these many blocks or avenues of training, so you actually need to like focus in one thing to be good in that. Yeah, with Baraw, like, yeah, this is a very compact system. It's like a real educational, like pedagogical progression that you can go through, and you could actually like learn it and get it. And I feel also that like the amount of detail they have is quite amazing.
I've always liked less is more. You know, that always kind of fit me. Like, I'm not really interested in like how wide. I want to know how deep I can go. You know, so that always kind of resonated with me. But Guru Mike is here. Welcome. So Guru Mike, same question. So basically, what I asked these guys was, what was the initial traction and reason that you wanted to check this system out and train with Dr. GM Eduardo?
Absolutely. First off, let me apologize for my tiredness. Good afternoon.
No
good
worries.
evening to everybody. Just got back from the road. GM Ceniza, greetings, sir. I do apologize. I was running a bit late. To answer your question, Dean, actually, let me say hello to both Simo and Sammy and Timo. Hello, guys, from Finland. To answer your question, Dean, what attracted me to Baraw Sugbo is more of a cultural to me. So when I was training FMA a while back, somebody mentioned to me, it's like, you got to check this art while you're in the Philippines. And I think it was 2004, a while back, or maybe a little bit later than that. But I just happened to come across with GM Ceniza by spontaneously. I just happened to meet him up. Somebody told me to, meet with GM Ceniza, and I think to me, it was more of a culture art for me. I was looking for a bladed system. And when I talked to GM Ceniza, we chatted more before we just started training. So I got to know GM Ceniza in more of a personal level. And I liked his personality. I think we had a good vibe. We had a good fit in terms of my envision for an instructor and me as a student. And that's where we started training. He introduced me to Baraw Sugbo, and I was hooked from the very first time I started training with GM Ceniza. I like the system, the mindset, and basically it's a compact system, as a lot of people have mentioned. And I've trained with other bladed system, but this is a little bit more unique, where it's more of a defensive knife system. And this is one of those unique arts where it's not engaging a dual mentality. It's more of a self-defense from an incoming attack with a knife. And this is where it was unique for me. It's like, oh, I'm engaged. I gotta learn more. So whenever I go back to the Philippines, I actually visit GM Ceniza. We train, I don't know how many hours, but he drilled me. He arm bar me. He takes me down, and people just don't realize the intricate movements that GM Ceniza have to offer in terms of the art. And now I'm from so many years, I still train Baraw, and I promoted as one of my systems to my students, to others, and who are welcome to want to learn, and just basically have an empty cup and say, hey, I want to learn a new system. Check it out, and that's what I basically do, and that's how I promote Baraw Sugbo here in the United States.
Awesome. Here, and I've been pretty vocal about this in the past, not as much now because I just not really interested in arguing people or hurting people's feelings and all that. But my issue and this is not just regards to Filipino martial arts, but just in general, empty-hand against knife, regardless of what your background is, there's a diluted aspect in the community as a whole. I think what they drill and what they think they're going to do in real time, real speed, real adversity, person really countering them, as opposed to what's really going to come out. And again, I just don't say anything. But when you see some stuff and you're just like, you've been there in the trenches, and you're just like, no, that's not going to work under full resistance. Sounds like, I'm sorry, I would never say that if I had not been in there. So I have such admiration for people who train realistically empty-hand against knife, because it's an absolute nightmare. It is the most difficult, challenging things to do with in martial arts, in my opinion. So kudos to you guys for doing that. So I references, as Sammy knows, 2-on-1, just for the sake of clarity, far as descriptive language. But essentially, it sounds like you guys adhered to that methodology. Is that accurate, GM?
What do you mean, Dean? Like 2 hands versus 1?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Baraw Sugbo, we usually use 2 hands to defend. 1 hand is for grabbing, 1 hand is for blocking. And there are some times we use 1 hand for parrying, or just looking for a sit-up to make again 2 hand block on or grabbing.
Or grabbing, negating movement, controlling arm, the knife. Okay, yeah. That's kind of what I adhere to anyhow, and it sounds like that's part of your methodology. So back to the your fellow instructors there. So what do you guys think? Let's go Sammy first. You agree with that, Sammy, as far as the two-hand aspect and all that?
Yeah, it's because the idea is that you don't actually have your own weapon, or you don't have the idea of drawing your own weapon or equalizer at the moment. So you are taking no risks. You are using your both hands to control the weapon hand, and the progression seems to go from like relative medio distance to the quarter distance. And when you go to the quarter distance, it really much starts to look like wrestling. To me, it has like all these like maneuvers. It's I'm couple of things we did this seminar were like almost straight from your playbook, Dean. I would say.
Really?
Yeah, it's remarkably similar at some points.
So inside position?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried. I just don't. What the community sees or doesn't see, I don't know. Like I said, I just stay quiet from now on. I'm just like, if it makes them happy, who the hell am I to say what they should or shouldn't do? You know what I mean? So I just keep my mouth shut, which has actually been less stressful. So I'm really adhering to that now. Timo, what say you on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Baraw Sugbo methodology, it starts from a grab and a block simultaneous. After the block, you immediately get a hold, 2-on-1 hold. But that's not the end result. Then after the 2-on-1 hold, you need to apply, or you should apply some kind of wrist locking or joint locking just to enhance the isolation. So isolation of the knife hand, it can be like I'm saying, it can be absolute or a bit relative. So I can either isolate the hand, for example, to by pulling, but I can also isolate the hand from to the side of or back of the attacker, and then the knife retention of the attacker doesn't work anymore. So the idea is to block the knife retention of the or knife retention methods, because obviously there has to be like that, or there is multiple knife retention methods that the attacker uses. It can be like a moving knife. It can be that the knife retention is made with the live hand, clearing, countering, or it could be that the like in Piper system, it just visits there and then you return it to the body. Yeah, we do Piper as well, obviously.
Yeah, Piper. Like, good luck trying to figure out how to defend against that, man. When you figure that out, let me know. I'm still trying to work that.
Dean, please welcome to Finland. We've tested it for quite some time.
Yeah. I came up with one thing, but against strong people, it doesn't work. Like, yeah, that's a freaking nightmare.
Obviously, it's very difficult for a knife offense system that is like based on a surprise element. Obviously, it's really
the criminal intent ambush. Yeah.
But if you can control the distance, control the like the movement a bit at least, or make it like more visible. So maybe then you have a standing chance. But obviously, if the distance is closed immediately, there's no way.
Yeah, the perception and reaction. Like I mean, the reactionary gap at that point, man, is just like Guru Mike, kind of same thing. Like your lens on the 2-on-1. It sounds like you guys go to wrist locks and all that. And I guess my additional question to you, Guru Mike, is that for enhancement of the control, or are you looking as the locking mechanisms for disarm potentially?
So, just for the premise of it, the 2-1 is the structure of Baraw Sugbo where you block and check. But there's also the concept of application of potential incoming ambush. So the 2-1 doesn't happen right there. If an opportunistic potential ambush comes into play, you either check it real quick. Then now I know what your intent are. So now maybe I could apply the Baraw Sugbo in terms of the 2-1 grab. But
Okay.
one thing that's also critical that I think a lot of people don't realize, GM Ceniza has with the method of Baraw could actually go from 2-1 or 1-1, allowing his live hand to utilize as a secondary live hand weapon. But you could always go. He always goes back to 2-1, and this is one of the unique things I like about the Baraw Sugbo. The mentality is that, hey, I got control of your blade with a 2-1, but yet I can control and release and have that energy or training that I could release it for 1-1 real quick for a potential attack and go back to 2-1 and disengage a weapon or strip the weapon, however you want to do it. It actually brings back that context that they mentioned that you start from medio to corto, and when you go to corto, you could do a lot of damage, right? Where GM Ceniza at one point in time, he might get my arm in 2-1 lock, yet he will take me down. And that there's a split second where he would release a 2-1 lock just to take me down, or even punch me in the face. And it's it gives you that application beyond the 2-1 grab. So, but essentially the 2-1 is the critical factor where you're engaging your opponent in such a context where your mentality is to strip the weapon and take that weapon from your opponent.
Okay. No. Sounds like great stuff. Yeah. So GM, as far as the origin of the system, I know you mentioned the same area as Balintawak, but any like infusion from them or influence, or is it just matter of just an area of origin by them in Cebu? So
Um, Actually, what I'm teaching is like purely came from my father, and I think what he also teach to us as his student and to me as his son or his successor. Maybe it's like the same thing that he learns. Maybe not perfectly the same, but it's almost like it's like a traditional one. So he learned that from his uncle, Lucrecio Albanio, and Lucrecio Albanio learned but from that certain Simo Saavedra, which was belonged to the Balintiwak group, headed by Ansyong Bacon.
Saavedra, I'm trying to find so much. I can't find any information on there. I was hoping to get some interview about them. No, I mean thus far. I say thus far. Everybody spoke to nothing. I guess they all died post World War II. I can't find anything on there. Do you guys have like any, like far as lineage or information on them, like that would be worthy of like contacting somebody, having on an interview? I just feel it's such a shame that they're not getting coverage, but maybe it's just not meant to be. I don't know. Kuba Mike, anything on that?
To answer your question, actually, one of my first cousins is Saavedra. So um, he stems his lineage from Mindanao. Basically, not quite sure how that stems into FMA. I never really reached and dig deep with regards to FMA connection. I did at one point in time had talked to a couple of people about that, and it was more of a yes, they were part of that, but really it was almost like a gray area where I need to go to Mindanao where I really, have to diverge in there and start talking to people. But yes, my cousin is Saavedra by lineage. So
If he's ever interested, let me know. I just think it'd be fascinating for them to be covered. Yeah, not to digress, but
yep.
So okay, so GM, when did you start training it? Like, how old were you?
I started training when I was, I think, 17 years old. But since I was a little child, I already seen my father teaching his friends, hi- his local students. But in terms to like formal training, I begin lately, just late, maybe 17 years old.
That's okay. That's pretty early. I mean, for empty hand against knife. I mean, that's wow. So far as okay, so you guys have levels. So I guess new student coming in. Um, what is what is the initial, I guess, lesson or progression, I guess. So where do you guys start?
Usually, like the other MMAs, so it starts from the basic, from the like the metodo. I mean,
Okay, maybe. Okay.
just uh, still one hand versus two hands, but mostly like on like basic blocking and disarms. And
Okay,
then
so
it goes into the second level, which is the Palakkao. Maybe it's also common to some Balintawak art. Palakkao, which is like where the hand, the knife hand starts to move. There is already a little movement plus some clearing or countering of the live hand.
okay, all right. So sounds like me. Okay,
May I build on what Jim Grandmaster Sneeza is saying? Also,
sure.
based also in the Palakkao, maybe he was saying about the Balintawak. I think this is where a complete translation for counter per counter. At least in Tabuada Balintawak system, you have your counter per counter. So kind of give you an idea on the play, the flow. This is where Palakkao comes into play with a context of lifting and clearing, potential of checking. That's
Oh,
where
okay.
the Palakkao comes in.
That's fascinating. How that got in. Wow, that's interesting. Wow. So Timo, I mean, you're repping over there in Finland. So which, for folks over there, you following the same progression was given to you, like as far as levels are concerned and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's different here in Finland is the group training. So in the Philippines, you obviously you get the best instructor there or best instructors. I've trained with more. I think all of the instructors in the Philippines, but obviously there is like one-on-one training. So you always train with the master instructor. Here in Finland, well, it's club work. It's non-professional. It's non-profit work or activities. So we practice in a club environment where also the beginners, they need to learn how to feed, and obviously it's much slower. But then again, because you need to verbalize things, it's like also uh, very interesting to try to get like the common understanding of the progression, and tell you the truth, it's really hard because GM Ceniza, he has the intuitive and the intuitive understanding of the progression, and he can like make instant corrections, but in a group setting it's much slower, and I'd say a hell of a lot more difficult.
Far as the one-on-one, I can imagine right in the group format, seminar format. Yeah, it's going to be a much different pace. Just speaking on it, you brought up intention and all that. To me, like that's just so critical. Like, if the intention's not there, in my opinion, everything after that is kind of false. I mean, if it's not even coming close to you or what have you, and I'm not saying you need to go 100% power speed in the beginning. Actually, I think that's not so good. But however, though, even if it's slow, but the guy didn't do anything, he screwed up or made a mistake, at least he's feeling that touch for feedback. And is that something you guys adhere to and advocate, Sammy?
Well, I can tell from the student's perspective how the thing feels to me, because I'm relatively early in my progression at the moment, and it's like in a method parts. uh, there it's you are just given the angles, and you are given much room to work with it. And when you go to the Palakkao, then the feeder starts to work with you more. And there is this very interesting teaching system they have where the feeder is following like certain rules that he like stays with you. Like he doesn't take the knife away from you, but he's like letting you have it. But then he's just clearing your hand and your tries when you thinking, okay, now I can actually disarm him, and he just takes it away, but still lets it be there and like moves it a little bit. And then when it goes to the next level of progression, then it starts to get really much more intense. So the opponent is like, or the feeder is like really giving resistance to you. And I think last progression, like in the Huecotodo, it's like full, almost like sparring setting.
It's more on like using some like elbows, headbutts, for example.
Biting,
Yeah.
eye gouging,
Yeah, whatever it
knees,
takes, right?
pulling.
To get home,
Anything.
right? I mean, jeez. Guru Mike, same question.
Absolutely. So training is definitely critical on a one-on-one level. But you know what I'm finding out is that, Grandmaster Ceniza humbly blessed me to provide some of his training materials, and it's available in www.maktan.online, Baraw Sugbo online
Yeah, I'm
training.
going to post all those links.
So
for sure.
that information right there, I'll tell you right now, Dean. I've actually shared that here in my group and to other groups that I'm in my network. And when they got to see the product, it actually an initial jump start in terms of meeting with me, having that one-on-one where they already know the basic on the strikes, so I don't have to start them up from like, hey, show me the 12 strikes, where I don't have to worry about that because they already know it with that training format. Where if they don't know that, I'll show that in the seminar format where the 12 strikes would be. So for safety, they need to learn that. But if they had the material, now we could just jump on start to say, okay, well, I could show you the one hand check, the 2-2-1 check, the 1-2-3 lock. So there's a little bit more progression, and you're asking for intent, and people are always looking for that intent. They're not really keen on learning the 12 strikes, but that's critical. But if they have the great training material to start off with, then now I can say, okay, show me. I'll deliver a little more intent. Deliver the 1-2-3 lock or the check and the 2-2-1. Then it gets the progression is a little bit more faster in terms of what Baraw is. Because like any other basic, any other system out there, you have to start off from foundation. Without the foundation, whether it's the metodo and the fundamentals, it's critical for both instructors and practitioners to learn that for the safety aspect of it. So we are talking. It's like a language, right? I'm sharing you how I'm teaching you how to talk this language. You don't know how to speak the language. Let me recalibrate you so you and I are talking the same language. That's the same thing for the angles of attack for Baraw. If you don't know that angles of attack, I have to check you first. But if you already know that, we could progress on. Then now you could see the context of the intent and the energy. So I'm finding out that the training materials that Grandmaster Eduardo Ceniza had provided has actually brought the interest a little bit more quicker, because when I do a workshop or presentation or a seminar here in the United States, some people have already know that material, and they're like, oh, now they're engaged in the question of the what ifs. I mean, I've seen questions like online.
Yeah, I got a couple questions I got to get
with the live hand. What are you going to do with the live hand? What are you going to do? You can get punched. It gets provided with a context once you're beyond the basics. So I feel that, in my perspective, it really does help a practitioner to learn the basic as a structure. And these are all available online. And when you get to meet an instructor, even meet Grandmaster Ceniza, he's just going to slightly correct you. Now we're talking the same language. Now you're going to see the intent and the energy. So.
Yeah. Here's one. Let me just see here. I got like 3 questions here. Comments, so which is a great thing. People are enjoying this. So good on you guys. Okay, the focus of getting that 2-1-1 engagement. Yes, it is growing that focus. What happens versus a person with two knives and each? Well, it's just not your day, Morgan. I mean, there's just some things you're just not gonna get past. I mean, that's just not your day. Let me see. GM, what is the best defense against a knife ambush attack? I know it's very hard to defend that because of the suddenness and speed and your reactionary gap being way behind. So, GM, uh, the question is, what is the best defense against an ambush attack?
If I like to mention what my father always told us during his time, the best defense, in case you have a little space, you run. You must run. But if in case you are there in a what you call this a very critical area, you must defend. So you not in in
Yeah,
any
yeah,
any situation, you must not just lift up your hands and do like that. You must try to. But
yeah. I mean,
talking about ambush is it's for me it's
it's
very hard.
hard. Yeah. Well, anybody who's
I
done
don't
it
know what
realistically,
kind of
it's
ambush is that,
yeah,
but
no, no,
for me
no.
it's
Yeah,
very
I mean, you get behind the reactionary gap. I mean, we're all human. I mean, it's like if somebody jumps out from a tree with a flying hammer fist. It doesn't mean you're good or bad. It means you're behind the reactionary gap. You took it back of the head, and yeah, I mean, we're not just because we're martial artists doesn't mean we got a sixth sense and we can solve every problem thrown to us. I got one more question here. I think ambushes, or maybe not. Uh, Yeah, I mean, right, Morgan. Don't put you in a place to be ambushed. I mean, yeah, I mean, so, I mean, right. I mean, where know your surroundings. Try to avoid that as much as humanly possible. But if somebody has your number, I mean, they're gonna, you know, I mean, as oh, wait, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Trying to pin yourself in a place. Yeah, hard to target, right? Eric, I'm not sure so what's the solution in your opinion? Eric, if you could just expand on that, I'm not sure in what context as far as your question goes.
I think Eric is asking Morgan. Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm reading the conversation, so I'm thinking because Morgan was asking, so
Okay.
about
In conjunction to that. Okay. All right.
continue the discussion there. And I see most of the guys are thinking about awareness here as the best.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's all well and true, but yeah, but again, you try to do that, but it's not to say that that is the cure all. I mean, it's, but yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, when you can, absolutely, definitely employ that and all that. Here's one for you, Guru Michael, and this is from Alex, I guess your fellow Belinduak. How has Baraw Sugbo helped your Balintawak or vice versa? Good question.
Hello there, Guru Alex Ormaza. Thanks for the question. Yes, how does that help me with Baraw Sugbo and Balintawak? As I mentioned earlier, the Palakkao content in Baraw Sugbo has the equivalence of counter per counter in the Buada Balintawak. How does it help me? It helps me on maybe an increased reflex response. Actually, learning my 24 semi-advanced technique was actually part of that too. So some of my for my FQI, some of my techniques were derived from Baraw. So I've been learning Baraw and Balintawak in parallel a while back, and actually have developed some of the contents for my semi-advanced technique. So that's how it helped me. I think it increased my awareness, the reflex, the response, the checking, and as you know, counter per counter could be infinite in terms of application. But there's also always that context that it also just fits for you, and basically that's how it helped me. Hopefully that
Right.
answers your question.
That was a good question. Thank you, Alex. Royce, not a cure-all, exactly, but still the best viable way to defend against. Yeah, I mean, right. Your surroundings and all that. But yeah, as far as your survivability, right? Okay. All right. So I think we're caught up on as far as questions there. Just before, yeah. So before we get to demos, levels. So okay. So how many levels, I guess, are in the system, GM?
In Baraw Sugbo, it's only have 4 levels,
4 levels.
which is which is the basic metodo, and then the Palakkao level, Corridas level, and the Huigo todo, including the ground aspect.
Okay. Okay. And so, what? So what level? Doesn't matter who goes first. What level are you guys? Let's start. I guess we'll start with Sammy. What level are you? Not that matters. I'm just curious.
I think that question is a trap. But
A trap.
at the moment, I feel I'm like still working with my level 1. Let's say
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
like
Gotta start somewhere.
that's level 1 definitely.
But he can
Okay.
he can already perform a bit of Palakkao.
Oh, I believe it. I'm sure. Yeah. And Guru Mike, your level? Oh, you're teaching, so I mean, you're
I'm just basic foundational for Baraw.
okay.
I would love. I mean, the progression to me is great, but level is secondary. I
Yeah.
hope to learn Baraw Sugbo from Grandmaster Ceniza.
All right. And Tommy, what your level? You're the leader over there, right?
Yeah. So I think I got my the levels are trainee levels. There's 4 trainee levels, and every level you have an instructor level as well. So when you are able to instruct the level, then you can have the instructor level. Like basically very easy, simple, like trainee level and instructor level. So I think I got my 4th trainee level in 2014 maybe.
Yeah, yes.
And I got promoted as a full instructor, level 4 instructor in 2018 maybe.
18.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's nice. So you complete a level, and then if you choose to, and you want to teach it, you could take the instructor test, and then that enables you to teach that particular level. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes and no. There's no testing in Baraw Sugbo.
Okay.
Of course, Eduardo tests you every day when you're training with him. But once you can prove that you have like successfully taught that level to your students, so you have like a living example. Then Eduardo automatically gives you or has, at least for me, given the instructor certificate. It's quite straightforward system in that manner.
Yeah. No, I like it. I like what I'm hearing. We got another question from Alex. GM Ceniza, what is the story behind your nickname, Boy?
You know,
So,
this is quite funny because in the Philippines, there are many nicknames, but my father, since I have my elder brother, so he called it like nickname Eddie. But sorry, I have not able to ask my father why. But I am known in my barangay neighborhood as Boy.
okay.
Before when I was young, but now Mang Boy, Nong Boy.
Yeah, I kind of stuck with you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if you guys are anything you guys want to add before demos that perhaps maybe I didn't cover? Guru Mike, anything you like to add before they show demos?
No, I do not. I
Okay.
do want to, for awareness, maybe later on at the end of the session, I would like to promote some of the locations planning to demonstrate Baraw here in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. All right. So what I'm going to do is if you guys want to do the demos, I'll drop me and Guru and Mike down. We'll still be able to see it, but you guys, they'll give you guys the whole the whole screen. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So just for this, like this is like the usual, like quite traditional training weapon or training blade in the Philippines. Like the model is like this, but my floor doesn't like this. So
Can we do that? So that
Yeah. So at the moment we're using like a full contact trainer. And for the record, we haven't agreed on anything. So let's see how it goes. Would you like to demo the method?
Yeah, the basic. The basic. This is number 2 strike versus the blocking and the disarming. This is number 3. This is number 4. Number 5. Sorry. So number 6 here. Number 7 is like a hook. 8, the same, like a hook going to the chest area. 9 is a center buckle strike. 10 is the same. 11 is a center strike low. 12 is center strike high. Yeah. So we do combinations, I think. Okay. After that, so we do some combinations. Okay. 1, 2, 1. So in this process, the student learns to block on like two angles here. 1, 2, 1, 2. As you notice, no clearing yet. Okay, it could be 3, 4, 3, 4 here, or it could be 5, 6, 5, 6. As you see, the footwork of the receiver is always moving. 7, 8, 7, 8. Here, 19, 19. 11, 12, 11, 12. So we have this diagonal combination. 1, 4. 1, 4, 1. 1, 4, 1. 2, 3, 2, 3.
Sorry.
2, 3, 2, 3. We have this 5, 8. 5, 8, 5, 8.
Sorry.
We have on the other side 6, 7. Let me do 6, 7, 6, 7. 3, 4, 9. Okay. 7, 8, 11. Again. From that, if the student develop that speed, so we can start to do the Palakkao. Palakkao is like the movement of the left hand. So let me show you. We will show you this possible movement of the left hand. Like. So it must be.
Eduardo, maybe you show them the without. If I don't counter, what happens?
What?
If I don't do the proper. Yeah. So.
Mhm.
So first Eduardo is feeding the primary attack, but the primary attack stops in my frame.
Mhm.
So then he applies the secondary attack.
Mhm.
Like,
This one is like a follow through attack here. As if move this one, the strike is moving towards there. So there are many possible. This is on. Sorry, but this is only for Palakkao 1 and 2. So I am just showing you how the Palakkao 1 and 2 looks like that. So these are the possible flow. Now, if the student or the trainee familiarize those movements, then you will start a bit of like clearing. So like that for here, for example, this one. So I can, before I can disarm that, I can counter this or clear. And maybe move the knife hand going here. So it's now counter to counter. Just look a bit slow thing, okay?
Okay.
From here, so that you can see the there. Here. As you see, I am only feeding in two angles, 1 and 2. The flow, maybe you will ask, where does the flow stop? The flow will stop if he'll be able to disarm this one. But if not, it will just go. It will go on here, boom, there, boom, 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 boom. So I can do 1, 2, bam, bam. Then I go here, boom, boom, there, boom, bam.
And it's random. I don't know what's coming.
Not random, but since it is just it's Palakkao 1 and 2, it's easy for the trainee to respond because the strike is all, even though the knife hand goes here down to disarm or to, like, for example, to prevent the disarm, I have this counter still here and below, and then strike with the same angle with the 2 and 1 angle. So after that, we have this Palakkao 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. But maybe it's more on, we go to corridas a bit so that you can see. Okay? So now, when you say corridas, all the attacks that is possible in Pakal, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. So without changing the grip of the knife, so those are the 6 angles of attack plus counter to counter. So we will start this, but we'll make it a bit slow first so that you can observe there. So when I say it's random, I can attack him on wherever I want to strike. Okay. So for example, I strike 1. Now I go 4. 9. There. 3. 2, 4. Then it could be from 2, 4, or from 9. Boom, I go to 3. Of course, it has a counter. So if no counter comes, then it would be a disarm. Oh, the flow is like it's going when the receiver cannot get the knife. Okay, so there. What else? Then how about this one?
Or maybe a bit of Hoikotodo, but just like to show.
Okay, so that was the what you call it, that corridas for the Pakal strike. So maybe you are interested in what you call is the combative. Yeah? So in this, for example, here. Yeah. Now you observe that I am delivering this. Okay? But during the combative, this one I go here, like that. For example, you go here, then this one. So we will be breaking this one. Okay? But we don't need, because some might ask, what if Eduardo, the what do you call this, the feeder will punch or will attack? No problem with that. But if you ask me, will be able to hit you? Of course, because I don't know, or else if I do like this, boom, then you punch, okay? Punch, boom, so I can. But again, in who you go to do, especially with, you don't know your opponent. There is a possibility that every time you do something, expected that you will be hit. So in this manner, so it's like a win-win situation, okay? So for example, I'm here, maybe he punched me here, but I will break this. So one thing is from here, bang, bang. So it's bang, then go here. Okay? So you can disarm this one. So maybe you can do this. And also, for example, here, number 2. So from, no, 1. So from this situation here, maybe he will counter me and he will go there. Okay? So from here, you counter me. So this one. So when you see, this is so this is 2 in 1. Now I go here. So maybe you cannot feel it because you are just observing. But when I do this, okay, this one is, you can see his reaction.
Take down.
Yeah. No, after this, bang, you go boom. So you will put this to his face, boom, then you go here. And also might be in the flow, for example, there. So not every so you to say this, that not every time that you can perform the combative or the like locking techniques, because I think it's like it needs set up for every techniques that you applied. So when you are doing this corridas, for example, so he's attacking, boom. Again, you just go. Boom, 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 boom. So that is a takedown. And it is also like after the corridas, you are teaching that basically. Where is where it goes that it starts from this one. For example, I just feed in one angle, so I'm putting my feet here. I put my right foot to enable him to practice the takedown. For example, you are here. In number 2, for me, just slow. Yeah.
Maybe it's enough. As for the, could you?
No, wait.
Ah.
I'll try Sammy so that here will be. So let us let Sammy. Sammy is a student of Timo. Okay, so he can do already the number 1, the basic.
Yep.
There. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. 11. 12.
Ah, yeah.
Now, I've said that he is on the Palakkao level because he can do the flow already. Yeah. So a bit slow. There. But he knows how to disarm and counter my counter there. Like that. There. 2. Okay, then you have to observe Sammy's level now.
It's still working. I'm still working with it, William.
Can I just discuss briefly about the knife retention of Baraw Sugbo? So, for example, you can break down the knife retention. So, for example, for just a few examples. So there, as you observed, there's the combination striking. So that's one knife retention method that the knife is always moving like this. It's one set of one type of knife retention. Then, if it was that Eduardo blocks, so I can obviously I'm not just gonna wait here like in. Sadly to say, but in many martial arts, the style of knife retention is that there is no knife retention. It's just like this. It's very easy to do that. But if it's like a bit of more complicated, it is like Eduardo noted that after the block, the knife tries to find like a secondary target. So it should be that I strike number 1 to this chest area, and then please, and then I try to find a secondary target. So here I cannot. It's like intuitively I cannot go because Eduardo's frame is so good. I cannot go forward. So I might drop the knife and try to find a secondary target from here. So it's like this. So, but then again, it could be that I'm already like retracting the knife. So it could be that I find that there's an easy way out. So I might drop it and try to pin the hand here. So like this, and maybe then I can strike again. But Eduardo, he counters it like this. So there's the moving, there's the retracting, and then there's the live hand based knife retention as well. So I strike, and then I use the or at least I try to use
So
the.
we have this retracting strike like that. So I'm using this my left hand to clear
And,
hand there.
and also to block my.
So this one to pin this. But since you cannot be able to pin both of the hands, might be this hand is free. There. Now, by pinning this, like that, boom. And in training, we do it slowly. But later on, if the training already knows this one, once I go here, boom, then boom. Or, let's say, by retaining the knife, I got to hold this and boom. Now, when I attack, bam. So it's just like that. So if you you are just putting this like that, not here, okay? It's more on the side. I don't know where, like this one. Don't drop. we will be out of here. So like that. Now this, boom. So this one, don't drop. There. So I'm not saying that, I'm telling you the truth. If you are dealing with knife, especially if it is sharp, maybe it's a miracle that you won't get cut. But maybe we try to have it as a minimal as we want. And maybe also to disarm the knife. So again, the students here should learn the counter to counter there. Boom. So he holds me now. So the counter for my pushing this, he will control this so that I cannot go in a distance here. Now, when I strike again, two, okay? Boom. So he has now a strong defense here, which is the grab and the block. Yeah. What else? Maybe.
Maybe it's.
I think we've shown quite a lot already.
Quite a lot, yeah.
Okay, then I hope you were able to observe how the.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was great. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, no, it was well done. I thank you very much. I was just hoping a little more on Sammy being thrown around, but maybe next time. Oh, you know what? I can't hear you guys. Mike, can you hear them? I can't.
I can hear. I cannot hear them. You're.
Yeah, there's something
It's
going
just
on.
you and me having conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, your guys' audio is cut out. Uh-oh. Audio. Yeah. They're definitely hearing us. Okay.
Audio check 1 2. Can you guys hear us? Not yet.
Huh.
We can't hear you guys.
Had to be something to transition from the demo to here. Something got screwed up. Can't be anything that serious.
No. Looks like we lost their audio.
Oh, they got the tech person. Hold on, folks. Hopefully they can. Shouldn't be anything that serious. Let me just make sure they're not. Yeah, they're not muted. So, huh? I don't even know what I could.
Dean, you want me to bump off and maybe that will restore their
Yeah, I think I might bump down. Huh. Let me just try hiding. And I mean, sometimes it's like the smallest glitch sometimes. Let me see this. Back to stream. How about now? Anything?
Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Huh.
Oh, you could hear us, but we cannot.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
not sure what's. I don't even know what to attribute it to. I can't even. Definitely something in when they went from demo to
The full share.
What that something is, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
There you go. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
can hear you.
I don't know.
1, 2.
Yeah. Okay. Good thing you had your tech person there.
Yeah.
So they can hear us?
Yeah.
So
We're good.
Our mic died, I think. We had to switch to another one.
Oh, I was gonna say because I was telling Mike like you guys were fine the demo, the transition when you guys were done with the demo to hear something. Yeah. But
Yeah.
hey, thank you. Thank you, GM. Fantastic demos. Thank you. Yeah. So I love the intent. Like, if he didn't do anything, he's getting stabbed. So to me, that like seeing intent, that's like the first thing I look for. Obviously you guys were definitely doing that. But I just would, it would have been nice to see Sammy kind of.
Next time. Well, you got to see me doing poorly under the pressure, so that's some sort of like pleasure at least.
Sammy, I will always volunteer you for.
Sammy, what have you done? The Dean is volunteering you for a lot of things, man.
Don't you?
That's what happens when you're too much of a smart ass. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Oh.
Sammy, you're beloved in the community.
It's true. It's true.
You are beloved.
Ask anyone.
Yes. I'm a fan. So that's all you need. That's all you should matter, Sam. FMA discussion is a fan. So, but hey, guys, Guru Mike wanted to speak on awareness stuff, and he's got an event coming up too. So I'm going to let him take it away. So.
Oh, absolutely. So I know. First off, I want to thank Grandmaster Ceniza for allowing me to demonstrate Baraw Sugbo here in the United States. For the last couple of years, I've actually was successful in demonstrating Baraw in a couple of states. That's including Florida, Chicago area, Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio, of course, in Pennsylvania. So upcoming events for a workshop here in close to me in proximity will be Louisville, Kentucky. That would be in September, I believe. I took out the calendar here. My apologies. So Louisville, Kentucky, I'm planning to do a workshop with my group there, September 24th. If you are interested in joining the workshop or within the close proximity, reach out to me. There's a good group of guys training Baraw over there. Shout out to Mr. Jeff Brown and Mr. Gannon for promoting Baraw within their groups over there. Also, next upcoming event will be in Chicago, October 1st and October 2nd, back-to-back, 2 different locations. A couple of my instructors are also hosting me there in tandem to doing the workshop for Baraw Sugbo to their current location in their primary teaching location or dojo. So again, shout out to Guru Robert Grossman and Guru Jesse Santiago for hosting me and of course assisting and promoting Baraw Sugbo over there in Chicago area. So those are the upcoming events for Baraw Sugbo here within the Midwest. Dean, I'm not quite sure what Midwest is, whether Chicago, Illinois. I think Ohio is Midwest, but yeah, so Midwest area.
Definitely Chicago. Yeah, definitely Chicago.
So that's the upcoming events.
Yeah, awesome. And what do you want to speak on as far as awareness?
Awareness. So there's actually a couple of promotion for Baraw Sugbo online. So the link is already shared there. So check out www.mactan.online, Baraw Sugbo online training. We're doing a promotional National Filipinos Heroes Day and promoting Grandmaster Eduardo Ceniza. All products are with a certain discount. So there's discounted prices. A way to learn some of the Baraw fundamentals, with a discount. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this actually gives you guys a quick snapshot of what Baraw is, especially here in the United States, where I have yet to host Grandmaster Ceniza in the United States, and this will hopefully come into fruition. I am doing, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm doing the workshop and seminars to hopefully retain enough funds so I could host them here. As you know, it's expensive to bring them over here. So all my efforts in Baraw Sugbo, whether it's workshop or seminars, I'm putting aside some funds so I could help GM Ceniza to be here in the United States. So awareness, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, do you have like an idea like you might think you would try to have them?
So the content would be, target would be a year or two. It's a great amount of funds. GM Ceniza is very humble about this, and I'm working throughout in a slow progression. And the idea is that by that point in time, he will have enough of a location to visit, maybe a tour with an increasing number of Baraw Sugbo practitioners here in the United States and including Canada. So I know GM Ceniza, I know you represented another Baraw Sugbo practitioner or instructor in California. I believe it's Mr. Philip Su. I don't recall his name, but
he's a student of my student before, Romy Ko.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Ramikos used to be in California, or maybe he's still there. So there's a little bit of the networking going on from coast to coast. Representative, initiated the one in Florida. I know another instructor also promoting Baraw Sugbo over in Florida. I taught some instructors in Canada a while back, Guru Vincent Gorospe a while back, and hopefully there'll be more. But the idea is that within a 2-year timing, if and when I could bring and host GM Ceniza, there will be a circuit where he'll be here to visit all those areas to promote and maybe demonstrate Baraw Sugbo. Hands-on.
Awesome. So okay. So as far as just for folks that might want to learn this and follow up on with folks that live in the United States. So there's yourself in Ohio. You mentioned somebody in Florida.
Yes. GM Ceniza, who's the one in Florida now?
I think he's Paul Rosales.
Group Paul Rosales. So he
like a study group.
Just a study group.
Okay, study group okay, all right, okay.
So, and there's also, as I mentioned, Mr. Philip Su in California.
So
I think he's in LA. I'll be honest with you. So
okay, so status quo. Study group Florida, yourself in Ohio, and then there's somebody in California.
Right.
Oh, so you guys are in your infancy as far as the states go then.
Well, supposedly, but here in the Midwest area, I mean, we have Chicago,
okay.
Kentucky, St. Louis, and PA is starting to gain momentum. And of course, one or so practitioners are actually introductory in Canada also.
So when you say like, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and all that, are those study groups or are guys that are under you? So
there are guys practicing under me. So
under you, okay,
yep.
Okay.
Yep. So fundamental, basic structure in terms of Baraw Sugbo.
So if somebody wanted to start a study group, regardless of state, they should absolutely, as far as the United States is concerned, they should get a hold of you.
I think they need to get a hold of Grandmaster Ceniza, and he makes the final call on that one.
Then in turn,
I follow his lead.
Okay. And then in turn, he would let you know, hey, this guy from
absolutely
Georgia contacted me, and okay, all right.
Yep.
Okay, no, good stuff too, just in case if folks wanted to follow up and all that, and all right. This is great. The demos were fabulous. I appreciate you guys coming on. I know it was short notice, man. We just kind of like 2 days, but I think it worked out great, right?
I think so too. Hey Dean, I'll give you hats off to you, man. Last minute planning, logistics, it made it work in less than 4 days. Timo's
Timo
Sammy,
did a lot of
yes,
this
Yeah, yeah.
all the setup over there in Finland with
with his
Grandmaster.
behalf.
Hats off to you guys over there. All the
Yeah,
logistics and
absolutely.
tech backups. So
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
You should see the studio here. It's quite amazing for like in one night or like couple of hours. We have lights and everything here. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah. No, you guys did. That was great. Your backdrop there and everything. No, that you guys did. That was awesome. Yeah. And
I think Guru Michael, if the interview was happening in the Philippines, it's very shitty.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
No.
Yes, because you know the roosters, the dogs, the motorcycles, all over. The noise is there.
No, it's so funny. Like I
But
did.
it's good that it's done here.
I did
I'm
Professor
just thankful
O'Connell.
to Timo
And Sammy.
and Sammy
Yeah.
too.
But the thing over there is, it's like depending on like just from the interviews I've done over there, it's like when I was doing Professor O'Connell, it's like, okay, we got we got an hour because at 8 o'clock everybody's gonna jump on, and sure enough, that signal just went crashed. So I had to do 3 parts with him because we could only go from like 7 to 8 before he would just go. It was like a freaking roller coaster. And then I've done a few where you definitely hear the roosters in the background, which I think is, I don't know, I thought it was kind of neat. No
The
motorcycles.
roosters are like they bring the atmosphere.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
It's like a signature. I mean, in all the online training programs that Jim Ceniza have, that rooster, maybe that rooster or another rooster, there's always that signature rooster in the background. So it's like ambient noise. It allows you to focus on the training material because the rooster is in the background.
I think
It's
I
a
think it's
great
great.
training material. It's a good signature for it.
Yeah. Wow. So, GM, you're heading back towards the end of the week, or?
Yeah, this coming Friday, September 9, and I will be back to the Philippines, and October 11 I'll be going to Romania.
Romania. Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your time in Finland. You are. I mean,
Yes.
sure, Sandy's
Nice.
entertaining, so I'm sure there's not a dull, boring moment there. And then, but I hope you have a safe trip back, and all
Thank
that. And
you.
I appreciate you doing this again on such short notice. All of you, for that matter. Sometimes those are the best ones, man. You know what? You don't have a lot planned. You just make it happen, and they just kind of turn out really great. And this is one of those, So.
Yeah, you definitely caught me off guard when you said, let's do it Monday. It's like, Dean, I'm camping, man, but I'll make it work, man. I was in my grizzly look, and I was out there in the woods, and he said, let's do this Monday. I'm like, okay, I gotta be back home by Monday.
You should have kept the beard.
I know I should have, but I had other obligations for work and events this coming week, so I had to.
Okay. I really like the look, but this is
I know.
now this is official. It's good.
Yeah, exactly, right.
No, awesome. All right, well, hey, you guys, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you'll get some traction on this. I mean, by the comments that were coming in, there seemed like a lot of people interested. So hopefully you guys will generate some students out of this, and I hope so. And I'm gonna post. I already posted your event in FMA discussion coming up. So hopefully you guys will get some traction out of that. And but yeah, thank you again, guys. Nice seeing you all, and hopefully this won't be the last time. So and I'll be in touch because I'd like to bring you on just solo, if you're interested.
Oh, thank you very much, Sir Dean. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Grandmaster
Thank you also, Sir Dean. Thank you for
Thank you very
inviting
much,
the
Sir
Baraw
Dean.
Sugbo in
Oh,
your
I'm happy to do. Oh my gosh.
interview.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming on. Believe me, this is how it keeps the channel going from getting folks on. So I was thrilled to. I just made I made a comment, and Guru Mike made a post. So I just said, hey, if you guys are interested in ever coming on the show to get coverage or exposure, and he got back, and so yeah, it worked out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was nice and quick. I'm glad. I'm glad Timo and Sami were able to do the logistics because I'll tell you, whenever I plan something with Grandmaster Ceniza in the Philippines, it's about a 1 month planning because of logistic and tech. So, but we make it work. We make it work. You guys you guys from Finland, man. You guys get it going real quick. That was sweet.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, and thank your tech person there.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, guys. You guys take care. Thanks again.
Okay,
See
thank
ya.
you,
Bye.
Goro Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels, Grandmaster
All
Ceniza.
right.
Sardine, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Take care. And, all right, that wraps up 326. Who is next? That's a good question. I know somebody's coming on. Just not sure. I think I got get in touch with Guru Tom and kind of solidify this remaining of September schedule. However, though, I can tell you who's slated: Bram Frank, Burton Richardson, and Mike. Hopefully, Mike Disick, Slaine Duffy. She'll be coming on. Another Pikita Turja episode with Darcy and Joe, students that train multiple styles in PTK. And I think maybe one or two more, but yeah. So hopefully there should be one coming up this weekend. But yeah, so just look for the channel. All right, guys. Thank you for jumping in. I will see you next time.